another edition of Busy MC TV, where we do hot interviews, show you ill music, and give you commentary on the stories that's rocking the world. Tonight is gonna be something crazy. We got a slavery photo wedding shoot where a nigga posed like a slave when he married his wife. I saw that shit, man. It fucked me up. Facts. And I got another question. Is the U.S. medical system haunted by slavery? Y'all know we was the guinea pigs and this shit, bro. And I just wanna see if I can get some answers to that question. So bear with me as I bring you this information. I got another question. As black people, are we sick? I ain't talking about coronavirus, motherfucker. I'm talking about mind state. Do racism make us sick? Questions I want to answer. We deal with extreme poverty, extreme biological warfare, extreme prejudice, but it's all under the illusion that it's inclusion. Gives you all illusion that it's under inclusion. You know what I'm saying? But without further ado, man, I'm about to bring these stories. At first, I'm gonna talk about this photo shoot, man. This wedding photo shoot, man. It's crazy, man. Let me see if I can pull it back up. I gotta go to the back to the Google. Type it in. Okay, here we go. Oh, Nelly. Oh, Nelly, where we go? I'm see if I can try to find a lot of them. But yeah, I'll just. I'm gonna do the screen on that. I'm gonna do that on that. Okay. This first story I would talk about, man, is really fucking crazy because ain't nothing that black folks won't do in this motherfucking country. Ain't nothing that we won't fucking do. It ain't shit that we won't do in this goddamn country, bruh. And I don't fucking understand it, man. You know what I'm saying? I know we can love who we want to love, and you know I'm not against, you know, a black man with a white woman or a black woman with a white man. I'm not against none of that shit per se. That's what they want to fucking do and don't impose it on me. That's cool. But this is like some next level sick ass shit, man. We'll show y'all this shit, man. Hope y'all can see it. This nigga is dressed as a slave, and his wife is like the caretaker and shit. And then right here, he's in the grass just chilling, like ready to be freed, and she runs over there like she freeing that nigga. You see this shit? I hope y'all can see this shit, bruh. I hope y'all can see it, bro. Right there. There you go. Y'all can see it good right there. Hell yeah. She freeing that slave right there, bro. 2021 freeing the slave, bro. Can y'all fucking believe that shit, man? That a nigga actually actually let motherfuckers do that shit to him, man. Where the fuck was this at? This had to be like the dirty South or something. It couldn't have been, I don't know where the fuck. They would just have the balls to do some shit like that in front of a lot of people. I'd be cringed out on that shit, bro. Cringed. That ain't the word, man. And like I heard in some commentary somewhere, it's like she still letting him know he's a slave. That ain't condemned by white society. They love that shit. We ain't condemning it either. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, man. We ain't condemning it, man. It's a shame that for love and acceptance that we're stooped to such depths into, like, as far as like giving up our integrity and overall manhood. With those pictures, that man balls is cut all the way the fuck off. Or you know what though? That bitch daddy probably gave that nigga $20 million to take them pictures. She probably got a rich ass daddy. She probably got a rich ass daddy and say, yo, Jeffrey, you motherfucker take them pictures with my daughter. You act like she freeing you and shit like that. I'll put $10 million, $20 million in your bank account. Yeah, that motherfucker ain't do that for free, bro. He ain't do that for just no pussy and marriage and shit. Nah, that was something. A white person wanting to send a message, and that money was bought and paid for because them pictures is done. I don't think it was his money. I don't think it was his production. I might research it and stuff like that, but if it is his researching money, he's a fool. But if it's not his researching money, you understand what I'm saying? He been bought and paid for, like I've been saying, been bought and paid for. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it is, man. And that's just some serious shit, man. When you're dealing with sick ass people in a sick mind state. See, this all ties together what I'm talking about. You understand? This all ties in. You know what I'm saying? This all ties in of the mind state of our people. And are we sick? Because sickness ain't the word, man. We on like black people is on life support, my nigga. We on life support. If it weren't for this thing we call culture that we all think that we represent, dog, our way of life would be dead. Everything we produce, everything we made, every intellectual property that we got out there been taken and stolen. And every motherfucker in this country know you can't make it without going through black people first. Facts. You can't fucking make it. That's why when niggas go to New York, where they go? The fucking Apollo back in the day. Because you can't make it nowhere if you ain't make it there. Facts. It wasn't LA when you go out there and be, no, it was New York. Niggas like you in New York, you a star. But I don't know what the case is now, but I'm just saying, like some back then shit. But yeah, man. Shout out to that goddamn dummy who took that picture with that white bitch acting like he a goddamn slave in his goddamn wedding. I hope your motherfucking father-in-law paid you fucking well, nigga. I ain't gonna lie. $20 million, I'd have been laid up there too with straw on my goddamn shirt. Look at I ain't even said boss. I was like, when you want me to say that, boss? They were like, nah, you ain't really gotta say boss, bro. $20 million? Shit. I don't know now. I bet you probably would got down. I'm playing with y'all niggas, man. But nah, man, I'm gonna go to the next story, y'all. Okay, is the U.S. medical system haunted by slavery? That's a question I want a little answer to tonight, because I've had conversations with people, and in the conversations that I had with people, we all agree that the U.S. medical system was using blacks as guinea pigs to get the treatments that we have today in 2021. Don't you know they pull blacks' teeth out with no anesthesia? Don't you know they gave black women childbirth and all that shit without no epidurals or aspirin, no nothing. Just pull the slave little baby out. Don't give a fuck. Killed the slave woman most of the time. Take the brothers, circumcise them, cut their dicks off, no anesthesia. Amputate them, no anesthesia. Give them diseases. Don't even have the antidote. They did some wicked shit. Okay, but here is...
Presented a severe complication from childbirth and became known as the father of modern gynecology. But that brilliant achievement was the pioneered the surgeons, whose brilliant achievement carried the fame of American surgery throughout the entire world. He's the guy who created the vaginal speculum, an instrument gynecologists...
A European that created this thing called the vaginal speculum, which is used today in modern gynecology due to the guinea pigization of our women, our sisters. Listen.
Used for examination. He pioneered the surgical repair for fistula, a complication from childbirth, and became known as the father of modern gynecology. But that...
And he's the father of modern gynecology, a goddamn devil.
Brilliant achievement was the result of a series of excruciating experimental surgeries that he conducted on enslaved women.
And as I'm looking at this, I'm looking at he has several women on the table, like looking over him with a clipboard in the picture.
In a lot of ways, Sims epitomizes the story of American medicine for black women. It's a system that's failing them to this day. From infant mortality to life expectancy, the racial disparities in healthcare are staggering. The gulf between black and white might be widest when we look at maternal mortality, with black women 3 to 4 times more likely to die in connection with pregnancy or birth than white women. And that divide can be traced back to doctors like Sims, who contributed to a long, largely overlooked history of institutional racism in medicine.
Trying to understand.
Damn. That's deep right there. That's deeper than the motherfucker, man. Like, we been in this country. Y'all motherfuckers up here grilling these hot dogs, and you're celebrating Christmas, and you goddamn out there in your goddamn Steve Harvey suit on Easter and shit. Y'all don't realize the fucking damage that it done to your fucking people while you being misguided. All the shit that we chase is doing nothing but sidetracking us and understanding what the real motherfucking message in the enemy is, and what the Most High is trying to tell us, man. Even if it take him to remove people, remove things, remove you from situations, remove you from communities and shit. Everything is for purpose, man. There's nothing that's not for purpose, man. I truly believe that.
Understand a historical problem without knowing its history is like trying to treat a patient without eliciting a thorough medical history. You're doomed to failure.
That's Harriet Washington, a medical ethicist and author who chronicled the intersection of race and medicine in her book, Medical Apartheid. While many of the stark racial disparities in healthcare can be attributed to environmental and economic factors like access to good healthcare, studies show that minority patients tend to receive a lower quality of care than non-minorities.
Why you think these statistics exist where like the white gets more, the black gets them, and then it exists because we live in a system which we don't own. We are a nation within a nation that are being kept on the ground with people, they foot on our neck. There's no black hospitals, there's no black goddamn fire departments, there's no black police forces for our neighborhoods. There's nothing for us. So when we get sick, we got to go straight to that Indian or that motherfucking Korean or that white person. They don't give a fuck whether you live or die, nigga. That Chinese man don't give a damn whether you live or die.
Even when they have the same types of health insurance or the same ability to pay for care.
Killer
As
Q,
African-Americans, we've been
Elevated
abused for
Podcast,
so
what's good
long,
with you, baby?
consistently by the system. Why should we trust it? Why should we go to it when ill? And that's iatrophobia. That's a fear of the healer. You know, inculcated by the behavior of those healers, unfortunately.
It starts with slavery. Doctors relied on slave owners for financial stability. They accompanied plantation masters to auctions to verify the fitness of slaves and were called in to treat sick slaves to protect their owners' investments. In 1807, Congress abolished the importation of slaves and in turn pushed black women to have more children, to essentially breed slaves. Founding Father Thomas Jefferson later wrote, "I consider a woman..."
What? Did y'all fucking hear that shit? They said they stopped bringing their slaves and just the United States Congress focused on just breeding them. Wow, my nigga. And you trying to tell me we don't suffer from sickness?
brings a child every 2 years as more profitable than the...
As I'm talking about the black woman in the medical situation, listen, black man, we are all born from black women, right? Right? So that shit is in their blood. That happened. That shit just didn't happen, and then it's echoes. It's echoes in the universe. It's echoes in the solar system with that shit, bruh. It's negative, and we still feel it, and these women still feel it. That's why we still, what you call them, the top of the infant mortality rate and stuff like that.
Best man on the farm. Around the 1830s, the abolitionist movement led to the rise of what was called Negro medicine, or efforts to identify black inferiority to justify slavery. And there were polygenists who tried to use both science and the Bible to find proof that races evolved from...
Alright, Christians, they use the Bible too. They use the Bible, you hear that? They use the fucking Bible to justify their racism. But the ignorance is on them too, because the Old Testament is nothing but about our people. What they will come at the motherfuckers with, I think, is the New Testament from Matthew to Revelation.
Different origins. The 1830s also marked the beginning of recorded experimentation on black women's bodies. One doctor performed experimental C-sections on slaves. Another one perfected the dangerous ovariotomy, or removal of an ovary by testing the procedure on slave women.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, they use no anesthesia. They use no anesthesia, man. It wasn't like you can go down to your local clinic and you gotta go get under and they give you something, you sleep, then they operate on you, then you wake up and all you gotta do is deal with them stitches. Ovarian operations with no anesthesia. Jeez.
In fact, half the original articles in the 1836 Southern Medical and Surgical Journal dealt with experiments on black people. And then, of course, there was James Marion Sims, whose reputation is etched in history and on that statue in Central Park. Between 1845 and 1849, Sims began performing experimental surgeries on a 17-year-old slave named
So he got a statue up in Central Park. I just know I didn't just fucking hear that. First practice was on a 17-year-old slave. And y'all think, see, that's why I'm showing y'all this shit. Cause all y'all kids and some of y'all grown-ups, y'all don't understand this shit is real. We at war, man. And it's not a fucking silent war. It's an aggressive war. We got to deal with drugs. We got to deal with biological weaponry, like such as diseases. We got to deal with guns. We got to deal with the police. We got to deal with poverty. We got to deal with being ostracized from this place, man. We got to deal with a lot of shit as a black man. And like I told my boy the other day, man, we ain't got no fucking friends, bruh. Okay? We ain't got no fucking friends. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, man. I put $500 on that shit, man. I go to work, come home with my check, and put $500 out that shit, and bet you ain't got no fucking friends. You just a nigga to them niggas, man. I don't give a fuck how you think you tight with them, bruh. They don't let you work at their stores. Only a small few. I seen a few niggas work at a pizza shop. I seen a few niggas work at the Arab store and shit. I seen a few niggas do that. I seen a few niggas do that. You know what I'm saying? I see a few niggas in the Chinese store sweeping up the Chinese store. Got a job in there. You know what I'm saying? But it don't happen often, man.
He eventually performed 30 operations on Anarcha and more surgeries on about 11 other female slaves.
So in all, he did 30 surgeries on a 17-year-old slave. Bastard. What a motherfucking bastard, bro. I dig him up. I dig that motherfucker up. I dig his ass up just to punch the skeleton. On God, man. I shatter that fucking skeleton, nigga. Fuck wrong with you, man? You evil fucking bastard.
When his male colleagues could no longer bear to assist him in inflicting pain on the women, the slaves took turns restraining one another. Yet paintings depicting Sims, Anarcha,
He had the slaves holding each other down. Can you imagine? Can you imagine holding a motherfucker down and the motherfucker digging out a woman's insides with no anesthesia? But y'all don't want to remember the history. Y'all want to say, talking about slavery, talking about what we've been through with some old shit. We don't need reparations. The medical industry don't, excuse me. The medical industry don't owe us money. Big corporation don't owe us money. We're not talking about the average white person that's walking around the street. Bitch, you broke. We don't want your fucking taxes. We don't want shit from you. Reparations ain't got nothing to do with going in no poor white folks' pocket. It don't. So let's stop the dumb shit. Let's stop the dumb shit.
other slave women presented a subdued version of his experiments. Even though anesthesia was introduced in 1846, Sims chose not to use it for his experimentation with slaves.
Man, you heard what that bastard, you heard what they said about that bastard? They said fucking anesthesia been invented. See, I ain't know when anesthesia, I'm about to look it up. But anesthesia been invented. But they said this motherfucker said he ain't doing it when he experimenting with slaves. I wonder what his family lineage is. What do they own? What are they about? We need to start looking up these people and their family. Because these the same motherfucker white folks that said, I ain't got nothing to do with it. But you 5-time, 5th-time removed cousins from this evil, beastly bastard.
His practices echoed one of the most prevalent and dangerous beliefs in medicine at the time, that black people did not feel pain or anxiety. This book from 1851, titled The Natural History of Human Species, claimed the American dark races bear with indifference tortures insupportable to a white man. Studies released as recently as last year demonstrate that black people are less likely to be treated for pain, particularly in the ER. There's even...
That's why black folks, you hear that? You hear that? They don't particularly get you for pain. They don't care about you hurt. Say like you get your teeth hurt and this shit, right? And you go to the ER. They ain't gonna do shit for you, bruh. Especially down south. You go in the ER with your motherfucking teeth hurt, you dead, bitch. Experience.
one from a children's hospital that found the same to be true for kids. And just this year, Pearson Education, a leading educational publisher, issued an apology and recalled nursing textbooks that included racist stereotypes, like this section that said black people often report higher pain intensity than other cultures.
Well, what does it mean when you say that someone doesn't feel pain? Among other things...
So they told the world, and they wrote literature saying that we don't feel fucking pain. How in the fuck you feel that melanated people don't feel pain? Yo, bro, I'm telling y'all, man. All you black doctors, I know y'all know about this. To be a doctor, you gotta be smart. All you black doctors, I know you know about this shit, bro. I know y'all know where all this research come from. I know y'all know. I know why they represent the medical industry, because of the check. But like I said, if it weren't for Satan and his money, our people wouldn't even be involved in none of that shit. They'd be doing other shit, bro.
You're speaking about their humanity. These are all part of that suite of beliefs emanating from the 19th century that we still have not.
And that's what ties into the 3/5 man. That's what ties into the 3/5. I'm telling y'all, I'm not trying to be on no knowledge shit, no pseudo-religion shit, nothing like that. I'm telling y'all niggas, that's why they label us 3/5. That's why they saying we don't feel pain. They don't think we human beings. But we the opposite. We are humans. They're not. Look that up.
Shaken off. Despite all our knowledge and sophistication, they're deeply ingrained.
Doctors like Sims might fit the Dr. Frankenstein stereotype, but they weren't outliers. Historically, Southern doctors who used black bodies for troubling experiments were the norm.
It's a very common question. How can we judge our forebears? You know, those guys in the 18th century who practiced medicine in a way that appalls us today. You know, we think, how could you do that? I did not judge the practitioners based on our own ethics. I judged them based on the ethics of their time. It was not acceptable back then. We just did not hear from the people who protested against it.
After the Civil War ended, the 1900s brought a wave of immigrants to the U.S. It sparked a race panic and coincided with the birth of the American eugenics movement. One of the movement's
They brought the immigrants to drown out the Negro, because times was changing. Times was changing, and the Negro was on this shit. You understand? So they flooded America. So they started flooding America with these people. It ain't cause they always lumping motherfuckers in with us. They lump the gays with us. They lump the opioid motherfuckers with us. They lump everybody with us. Sesame Street, 21 Jump Street, everybody down with the black people where they fucked up. But then when we need some help and we look around, we don't see none of them motherfuckers. On God, we on our fucking own. Somebody, I swear to God, bruh.
key objectives was to reduce the childbearing potential of the poor and disabled. Leaders included birth control pioneer and Planned Parenthood founder Margaret Sanger, who eventually...
See? Now it's Planned Parenthood. Now you see the dots connected. Now you got the abortion clinics. And then you had Hillary Clinton talking about one of her role models is Margaret Sanger. But you motherfuckers love this motherfucker. Bruh. Y'all people gotta get hip on things, man.
Devised the controversial Negro Project, or family planning centers that pushed birth control in the Black South. It was a project that even garnered support from W.E.B. Du Bois, a founder of the NAACP, who wrote that black people bred carelessly and disastrously.
Fuck him too. Fuck W.D.B., whatever the fuck his name is. Talking about we bred carelessly, and that's why I said that's why they had the Planned Parenthood and brought the immigrants. Is y'all paying attention what I'm showing you?
By the mid-1930s, more than half the states passed pro-sterilization laws, and often sterilization was forced.
Hey, I hope they say it, but shout out to the people, man, that went through that forced sterilization in North Carolina. I know about that story. Shout out to them people and prayers to them people that had to endure that forced sterilization.
In 1961, future civil rights leader Fannie Lou
Hamer
went to the hospital to have a tumor removed, but was subjected to a hysterectomy without consent. The procedure, which rendered women infertile without their knowledge, was so common in the South that Hamer is said to have dubbed it the Mississippi appendectomy.
African American.
Bruh. Tell y'all something. Flavor Flav was on some shit, nigga. Flavor Flav, where he said 911 is a joke. Get up and get down. 911. It's a fucking joke in your town. God bless us all. God bless us all. We live in a hellish, wicked place.
Babies were no longer economically valuable. And African Americans themselves had gone from being a resource to a nuisance.
In June of 1973, the SPLC uncovered 100 to 150,000 cases of women who had been sterilized with federal funds in Alabama. Half the women were black. In recent decades, women of color continue to be exposed to dubious reproductive health programs. In December 1990, the FDA approved a contraceptive called Norplant, and it was selectively marketed to black teenagers in Baltimore schools.
Now, one of the current birth control methods now in the United States is Norplant.
Norplant fans like David Duke, the former KKK Grand Wizard, even introduced legislation to give women on welfare an annual reward of $100 if they agreed to get Norplant.
And it's time.
Yo, David Duke, the head of the Ku Klux Klan, even endorsed legislation to give black women an extra $100 on their motherfucking welfare if they take the shot. You see how dangerous, see how all this ties in with the dysfunction in the black family and all this and all that, and you know, like he said, it's crazy. That's why it's a lot of sexual, what they say, having babies and shit recklessly. You know, W.E.B. Du Bois was kind of on some shit, but I would keep some shit like that to myself, knowing I was back then in a war like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's why it's like that. The bait be easily taken by these women, and these women raise their babies to get on welfare. They raise their babies how to motherfucking take care of business. That at 8 years old, that baby know how to use that link, that know how to check that link card. At 8 years old, that motherfucker on the phone, you have $387, and that baby go tell mama. That baby know how to spend that goddamn link. You understand what I'm saying? It's being taught. And we gotta break that shit. But we can't break that shit because black people as a whole have to be repaired. We have to drop the crime rate. We have to drop the drug criminality. We have to drop that, man. We have to drop that gang activity. We have to drop all that shit, man. Get these boys something to live for. Get these people something to live for. Get these motherfuckers something to wake up in the morning for. Who the fuck know they gonna wake up in the morning and they crib nasty? They gotta walk down pissy stairs. Elevator don't work. This niggas outside always asking for $1 and shit. Your street dirty.
We start to encourage welfare mothers to be responsible.
That bill never passed, but the implant ignited a debate on whether long-term contraception, like Norplant that lasted 5 years, could be used as a form of social engineering.
I know a couple of bitches who took that shit, man. That shit made them fat as fuck. Facts. I know a bitch took that shit right in the arm. They had that little shit like that plant in the arm. They're like a RFID chip. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little RFID chip. And motherfucking bitches be getting fat as fuck, bruh. Oh God, that shit blowing up. I don't know what's in that shit. Yeah. But I'm back, yeah, like I was saying, man, yeah, I say, man.
When pushed to specific communities. Today, as we continue to lose black mothers at alarming rates, a deeper look at the past may be a good step towards creating a more equitable healthcare system. Hi guys, thanks for watching. Of course, there's a lot.
Yeah, the medical industry is very haunted. It's very haunted, man. It's a lot of things that's going on where you got us being involved in how the origination of the medical industry began. It's real fucking sad and unfortunate that we as people had to fall victim to the hands of these devils. And now they're the top paid they're the top paid with the top jobs. They don't want to make black people. I mean, why wouldn't you want to elevate a Negro or whatever you want to call him to a level to where he could take care of his own people? You know, you got to make it out of many, and it shouldn't be like that. We should push anybody's son to be a fucking doctor. We should push anybody's son to be a lawyer, because these kids don't see that shit. All they see is they uncle or they cousin, and one of them little niggas got a lot of goddamn money. That's all they see, bruh. They don't see no motherfucker getting up, going no goddamn office and shit, nigga. It's sad that we got that in our blood from these type situations, man, that our mamas give us, man. It's in our blood, man. It's fear. It's fear, man. And I just pray that we can get out of this mental mind state and understand that we don't have no friends, man. The world is totally adversarial towards the American black man, and that's a straight up 100 truth, man. Only way they ride your dick if you're doing good in entertainment, you playing a ball sport, or you popular on social media or something like that. Straight up, they ain't fucking with you, bro. You stand for family, you stand for truth. They ain't fucking with you, bro. But now, we're going to get into the situation of How does this institution that people call racism make black people sick? Does it give you the flu? Do you sneeze? Do you cough? Do you have fever? We're not talking about the CV. We're talking about pure, unadulterated racism in America. Yes, 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 it exists. We're not going to act like that shit ain't here. Because it exists because corporate America is racist. And then it trickles all the way down, like I said, to the broke ones. That ain't got nothing to do with it, they say. If they ain't got so much to do with it, why they think they're overseers? Why you think you got so many Karens and Brads and shit? Because they know that they're overseers, bro. They think they're overseers, bro. They do. So you get up to knock them upside their head. Sometimes they gotta get knocked. They so boosted up. I swear to God, they be so high. They be so high off their privilege. They don't even know they can get their goddamn jaw knocked off. That privilege, yo man, it's like, I think to them that privilege is like crack or something. It's very addictive to them because there's a lot of them that do that, bro. It's a lot of, it ain't just isolated cases where you see, oh, this lady did this, that. This lady won't let these people in the door. Oh, these ladies won't let these motherfuckers out the restaurant, accusing them for not paying. I say, yo, bruh, they doing that because they know, bruh, they know they protected by the police. They know the police come there on kill order for black people. They know that. They know that, bruh. But we're going to get into the video. Okay.
Every level of education. The next 30 years as one of America's top civil rights lawyers. He was also a great husband and father. But despite his success, personally and professionally, Clyde's story had a sad ending. In 2010, at the age of 62, Clyde died from a blood clot in his lung. Clyde's experience was not unique. Many of his black classmates from Yale also died young. In fact, the magazine article indicated that 41 years after graduation from Yale, the black members of the class of 1970 had a death rate that was 3 times higher than that of the average class member. It's stunning. America has recently awakened to a steady drumbeat of unarmed black men being shot by the police. What is even a bigger story.
I didn't know he was gonna go there. But that's part of the symptoms of the sickness too. If you understand how the police came about and where the police came from and how it came to be, you'll understand how all of this shit ties in.
Is that every 7 minutes, a black person dies prematurely in the United States. That is, over 200 black people die every single day who would not die if the health of blacks and whites were equal. For the last 25 years, I have been...
We fussing about equality with white people and stuff like that, man. We don't need equality. We need to just go do our own fucking thing, my nigga. Let them have their cities and their big tall buildings in the sky yodeling and shit. Let them have that shit, bro. We need to totally push for our own thing, man. We deserve our own thing, bro. There's millions of us, man. We deserve our own fucking thing, man. I don't want no spin-off on no white person or nothing. I want to see in my lifetime where I see black people own the light company, own the gas company, I want to see that shit. Then that way, black people want to pay their bills. Cause sometimes to keep it real, man, black people don't want to get their money to the motherfucking white man all goddamn time. That's why that shit exists like that, man. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta do better, man. We need that check cut, man. That's all I got to say, man.
On a mission to understand why does race matter so profoundly for health. When I started my career, many believed that it was simply about racial differences in income and education. I discovered that while economic status matters for health, there is more to the story. So for example, if we look at life expectancy at age 25, at age 25, there's a 5-year gap between blacks and whites. And the gap by education for both whites and blacks is even larger than the racial gap. At the same time, at every level of education, whites live longer than blacks. So whites who are high school dropouts live 3.4 years longer than their black.
Facts. I work for some Euros, man, that didn't even have a fucking high school fucking diploma. And they my fucking boss and shit. And I got fired from a job because I questioned that. I said, this man don't even have a high school diploma. How the fuck he telling everybody what to do? That's true. They said motherfucking white boys with no high school diploma outlive any smart black motherfucker. Damn.
Counterparts. And the gap is even larger among college graduates. Most surprising of all, whites who have graduated from high school live longer than blacks with a college degree or more education. So why does race matter so profoundly for health? What else is it beyond education and income that might matter? In the early 1990s, I was asked to review a new book on the health of Black America. I was struck that almost every single one of its 25 chapters said that racism was a factor that was hurting the health of blacks. All of these researchers were stating that racism was a factor adversely impacting blacks, but they provided no evidence. For me, that was not good enough. A few months later, I was speaking at a conference in Washington, D.C., and I said that one of the priorities for research was to document the ways in which racism affected health. A white gentleman stood in the audience and said that while he agreed with me that racism was important, we could never measure racism. We measure self-esteem, I said. There's no reason why we can't measure racism if we put our minds to it. And so I put my mind to it and developed 3 scales. The first one captured major experiences of discrimination, like being unfairly fired or being unfairly stopped by the police. But discrimination.
How many of y'all been fired or some bullshit at a job? How many of y'all motherfuckers been fucked with by the police because you was a nigga, man?
And also occurs in more minor and subtle experiences. And so my second scale, called the Everyday Discrimination Scale, captures 9 items that captures experiences like you're treated with less courtesy than others, you receive poorer service than others in restaurants or stores, or people act as if they're afraid of you. This scale captures ways in which the dignity and the respect of people whose society does not value is chipped away on a daily basis. Research has found that higher levels of discrimination are associated with the elevated risk of a broad range of diseases, from blood pressure to abdominal obesity to breast cancer to heart disease.
See, that shit stressed black people out, man. They had this thing called hypertension. What black men get, or some black women get, is this thing called hypertension, man. You know what I'm saying? You get high blood pressure, you get diabetes, obesity. You develop all those things. You develop alcoholism. You develop all of those things due to the stress of society, of what you're going through in this country as a black person, man. It's like what we go through in this country, man, on the down low, man, on the hush in this country, man, is a living hell. Like you said, man, we get fired from jobs for no reason, bruh. Motherfuckers think we stealing, bruh. Motherfuckers think we want something they got, bruh. We don't even trust each other.
And even premature mortality. Strikingly, some of the effects are observed at a very young age. For example, a study of black teens found that those who reported higher levels of discrimination as teenagers had higher levels of stress hormones, of blood pressure, and of weight at age 20. However, the stress of discrimination is only one aspect. Discrimination and racism also matters in other profound ways for health. For example, there's discrimination in medical care. In 1999, the National Academy of Medicine asked me to serve on a committee that concluded based on the scientific evidence that blacks and other minorities receive poorer quality care than whites. This was true for all kinds of medical treatment, from the most simple to the most technologically sophisticated. One explanation for this pattern was a phenomenon that's called implicit bias or unconscious.
All he's saying is he's a doctor. Man, you goddamn right you go to the doctor, that shit racist as hell, man. Like I told y'all, man, them goddamn doctors don't give a fuck whether your ass live or die. You just a motherfucking check, man. Every time they write your prescription, they get paid from the pharmaceutical company. You understand? So you gotta understand, man, we at war, people. This medical system ain't no joke, man. And that's basically what the doctor right here is saying. The doctor right here is saying that you would not get adequate medical care in the United States. It may be the best medical care system in the world, but it ain't the best medical system in the world for black people who live here. I'm sorry. We need to get up out this shit like we oblivious and it can't happen to us and nothing can't happen to us and you know and all that dumbass shit, man. That shit is at our front door, man. That shit gonna be at the front door. You don't know when you gotta be in the hospital, nigga. You don't know, man. Looking at this show, if you ever peep this show or you see this show and your motherfucking ass go in the hospital and go through that shit, you be like, yo, that nigga busy was right about that dumbass shit, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? But yo, that's all I got to say, and that's the show, man. And I'm about to bring my commentary through here, and we got to get it popping, man. Because I have to go. And I appreciate y'all for being on Busy MC TV, where I give you hot interviews, play you real dope music, and give you commentary from the current events that's rocking the world. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, man. And I appreciate y'all rocking with me, and I appreciate y'all, wanting to listen to me, man, because you don't have to fucking be here. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you came here to fuck with the God, and salute to you. All day. Salute to you all day. The God ain't worried about demons and devils. You know what I'm saying? I just jump levels, you feel me? There's no demons and devils fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. That's that photo shoot, man. Motherfucking crazy, man. He sat there like a motherfucking slave and hold up his hands like that white woman is breaking that chain. Hey man, look, y'all. I hope that father-in-law paid him a lot of money to do that. Cause I sure would probably would do it for 20 mil. Y'all call me what you want after that shit. Facts. Shout out to the stupid motherfucker. Now you're viral for being a dumbass. And the other question I had is the medical system haunted by slavery? Yeah. They fucked our sisters up, man. I just don't understand. I don't understand how we trust the system as wicked. Cause I heard this. How a nigga that's gonna beat you right, treat you right. Let that sink in, nigga. It's all kind of ghosts running around this motherfucker from the medical industry. On God. They kill people all the time. They let niggas die in the motherfucking hospitals from bed sores. They don't be feeding the motherfucker sometime. We forgetting to get these people they pay medicine, but get them the cheapest shit possible. They can't even feel a goddamn medicine. Goddamn the medical industry. And are we sick? Does racism statistically make us sick? Yeah. I got yes or as an answer on both questions. Diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure. Domestic abuse, domestic violence. Poverty. Poverty, all of that, man. It all makes us sick, man. We all are sick, man. And we need to go get some fucking medicine, man, and get ourselves together. Or it's going to be too late for us, man. I'm going to see y'all next show. Tomorrow I got Nisi on there tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a lit little show, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't do an interview in a minute, so this going to be popping. I'm going to welcome her to the show. We're going to do a busy MC TV style, and it's going to be popping. I want to thank y'all for coming in and watching the show and paying attention to the God Do It Stay. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all be safe. One love. Y'all niggas be good. And on that note, I'm going to be out, and I'm going to get the fuck out of here, my nigga.